Chris and welcome to The Underground Show. Here's my co-host, Dangles.
My name is Dangles and welcome to the show.
On today's edition of The Underground, we'll be looking at a pretty obscure upcoming band called the Nightmare Creatures. This band's bassist has got some skills you wouldn't believe and a drummer that some are claiming to be the next Neil Peart.
We also have a special treat for you tonight as we review a film so bad that it transcends film and becomes one of the masterpieces of our time. But first, Chris and I will discuss Nightmare Creatures, the band whose rhythmic beats will possess your dreams.
Nightmare Creatures hail from a small village of Dromiskin on the outskirts of Dundalk. Brought together by their love of hardcore speed metal and a soft spot for Coldplay, Nightmare Creatures combine their fast beats with the melancholic lyrics of Coldplay.
Enough talk, let's see these guys in action, Chris. Here's one of the members of the band in action now. Without further ado, let's roll the tape.
This is a little piece I've been working on.
That was Kieran O'Brien with another stellar performance by part of the Nightmare Creatures. It's hard to believe a band with such musical talent has remained hidden for so long.
They haven't been hiding at all, Dangles. The bassist for Nightmare Creatures has entered several competitions and has won awards in practically every single one of them. Not only that, but the drummer has been on stage with Billy Joe from Green Day after winning a college music competition.
Enough of our praise though. We'll let the band themselves give you a little info about themselves.
My uncle was a bass player and he'd always been around kind of playing music, and I hadn't seen him that much, but I always enjoyed kind of the idea of playing music, and he was a bass player, so I kind of picked up bass as an interest, and I kind of kicked off from there. And naturally, when you say you want to play bass, nobody takes you seriously, so I was given a guitar about 2 weeks after that. But then I eventually got my hands on a bass and I kind of started playing. I started writing my own songs when I got kind of competent enough at playing guitar, and when I got competent enough at playing bass, I started writing stuff, and it all started off pretty simple. It was nothing extravagant or nothing special, and it kind of just builds up. It's a learning process. It always is. Outside of my music genre, I don't know. I'm into bits and pieces of everything. I mean, I love funk. I love jazz as well. It's a big passion of mine recently, and anything in the classic rock genre as well is just great.
And now what all you film fans have been waiting for, it's our review of the little-known movie called The Room.
Oh Chris, this is a doozy right here. The Room was released back in 2003 with a budget of $6 million. Where they spent it, I don't think we'll ever know. Tommy Wiseau is the mastermind behind the production of this film, as he directed, produced, wrote and starred in a film that throws logic, continuity out the window.
It's a story of Johnny, a businessman married to Lisa. This is about the only plot that stays consistent throughout the movie, as Johnny goes from playing football in a suit to random arguments with strangers.
The worst part of the film is the irrelevant subplots that go nowhere. For instance, plot points such as cancer, drug dealing, and orphans seem to be irrelevant in a world where Lisa's boredom is the most important aspect of the movie's plot. But the highlight of the film is its terrible acting, sloppy dialogue and its looped scenes. This is just a few of its minor problems if you don't take the film serious. The film can be described as the greatest comedy ever made. Back to you.
Sadly, that's all we have time for today on The Underground.
We've gone from talking about some stellar music to a diabolical film, but that's only touching the tip of the iceberg, as we have a lot more in store for you next week.
Some of the highlights for next week's show are an interview with The Vodka and a review of the cult masterpiece Donnie Darko.
Sounds like you'll be missing out if you skip The Underground next week, so stay tuned next week for some more underrated media.
Party on, Dangles.
Party on, Chris.